It's happening to so many people this winter, a cold or a virus that you just can't seem to shake. If you've heard me all morning long, you know that's very true.
Yes.
Our 9 health expert, Dr. Powell Coley, is here to explain what exactly is going on.
Thank you for coming
Good morning,
in.
guys.
So this is showing up as a lingering cough or even a runny nose, as Jordan has been experiencing long after the other symptoms have passed.
That's
What's
right.
going on?
Well, you know, we've known for some time that you can actually have a cough that can last about 3 to 8 weeks after the initial infection
That
resolves.
is awful. That was not the news I needed this morning.
But I have a punchline for you, Jordan.
Okay.
There's a new study that says it can actually last up to 18 months. So they're looking at after an influenza infection, and they're seeing people still have shortness of breath and cough up to 18 months later. Now, the good news is you're not infectious, obviously, at that point. The virus is cleared, but the symptoms can be lingering, and of course, they can be obviously very disturbing as well.
Why is that happening? Why would these symptoms stick around so long?
Yeah, there's a few reasons for that. So one is this persistent postnasal drip. So after you clear the infection, you still have secretions from your sinuses, from your nose, kind of dripping down into your lungs, causing that little bit of that nagging dry cough. The other is the theory that the virus is actually still causing inflammation or has damaged the cough receptors. So they're sort of being tickled and triggered without the virus even being there. The lungs thinks that there's something there that it needs to clear, and it's causing you to cough. And rarely it can be something like underlying asthma or something like that that you've uncovered with the infection.
Oh my gosh. So has this winter season been worse for respiratory illnesses, and if so, why?
It really has. And you guys just talked about the numbers from the flu,
Right.
and you know, it's just going through the roof. And there's a few different scientific explanations for that as well. So the first is this triple-demic is really here for the first time, right? We've got COVID, we've got flu, we've got RSV, and we have this new COVID variant now that has all these mutations that makes it even more transmissible than the last ones. It's the JN1 variant. And we think it can evade our immune system better. The second, though, is something called an immunity debt, which we've all acquired over the last few years, which means our immune system is kind of in debt. You know, it's not trained because it hasn't seen a lot of infection over the last few years, so it's hitting us a lot harder. The way that we're responding to those same viruses that we used to see every winter and just kind of not a big deal, now it's actually hitting us a lot more significantly.
So the debt, is that due in part to like the mask wearing and the distancing and all that? It's like it hasn't had like a workout.
That's right. So think about what happens to our muscles when we don't exercise
Yeah.
them. They atrophy. Our immune system's kind of atrophied a little bit, so we have to sort of get it back in shape. Now, the way to get it in shape is not to go out and get sick.
Okay, I was going to ask, what do you do with that? Yeah.
It's to do all the other good things that we talk about, sleep and water and vitamin C and lots of those types of things to get it back into shape. But to make sure that we're still doing a lot of the other things, exercise and all that stuff that keeps our immune system healthy. Because if it's not healthy, the way that it reacts to those infections is going to take you down a lot more. And it won't just be that illness, it'll be possibly lingering for weeks or months afterwards.
So help me out and some of our other friends at home who may be struggling with a lingering cough. What can we do to kick this?
So most of the time, nothing. It just kind of goes away on its own. You know, you can take some, you know, cough drops and keep making sure you use a humidifier at night that can kind of help sort of hydrate all those things. If you think you do have a post-nasal drip, then that's something you can talk to your allergist or your doctor about, getting nasal steroids to help clear up some of those secretions. If you have heartburn, that's another common reason for cough. Some people don't realize, especially nocturnal coughs or coughs that happen at night, silent, small amounts of acid coming from the stomach into the lungs. But just make sure if you're coughing up blood, if you still have fever, you're losing weight, you're feeling short of breath, these are warning signs that the cough is not just a regular post-viral cough, but actually something a little more concerning.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you, is at what point do you know you need to go to the doctor?
So I would say if it's been longer than probably 8 weeks,
Okay.
So we'll check on you in 8 weeks. Or if you have any of those kind of concerning symptoms, or the cough is interfering with your functioning, then you may want to think about it. Now, don't keep taking cough suppressants either, because a lot of times, especially if you need to clear those secretions out of your lungs, those persistent cough suppressants over a long period of time can cause the secretions to sort of solidify and harden in your lungs. You actually want to expectorate them, cough them up, and get rid of them.
Coughing is a good thing. It doesn't feel like it, but it is a good thing. All right. Well, Dr. Coley, thank you. I'm happy to be the human experiment here. We'll check back in a few weeks and see how things are going. Thank you very much.